We're going to continue with our breaking news from here in Doha. After 15 months of Israel's war on Gaza, negotiators have now reached a ceasefire agreement. According to media reports, celebrations are taking place right across Gaza. Okay, these are live pictures that we're bringing you from Deir al-Balah. We've seen scenes of jubilation and celebration over different parts of Gaza in the last couple of hours or so since it was announced that a ceasefire agreement appears to have been reached between Israel and Hamas. Hani Mahmoud is in Deir al-Balah in central Gaza. Hani, just talk to us about the kind of atmosphere there is where you are.
Well, as of this moment, the celebration are still happening. They're taking place. There are more people leaving their tent sites from the surrounding of the area, the vicinity of the hospital, pouring into the courtyard of the hospital. It's just so amazing to see the hospital right now. In the morning, the courtyard of the hospital was a stage for many of the funerals of early hour this morning. The 10 people who were killed in the overnight attacks, the many that followed. And now we're seeing a completely different scene in front of us. People have been displaced, traumatized, hungry, are at the hospital celebrating this moment with much of happiness and excitement and much of the feelings that were suppressed in the past 15 months, to the point people were not allowed to express any of their feelings, to reprieve or to mourn properly their loved ones and their relatives. But now it's an opportunity for them. But it's worth mentioning as well, it's still not clear when the ceasefire is going to take effect here, because we just seen an ambulance vehicle just pulled up inside the hospital, bringing injuries from an attack in a Nusayrat refugee camp. And this is exactly the concern now. We're seeing it from the time of announcement that there is an agreement into the time that it's going to take effect. Those are 24 hours, are very critical time. And what we are worried about, what everybody now worried about, despite the high level of happiness and excitement here, almost non-believable, they're worried that the attacks are going to increase and more people are going to die within the coming 24 hours. Exactly the time that this ceasefire is going to take effect. But again, we're seeing a completely different scene here, a dramatic change from what happened in the morning and what is happening now. This is a scene right now. This is a scene of the celebration of many of the people that, as long as we reported it from here, we've seen them here asking us questions, talking about the end of the war, talking about the end of the bombardment. This particular man been lifted up by the people who are happiness. One of the displaced people who we have many encounter with, lost his part of his family, lost his home, and been staying in the hospital sheltering for the past months. And most of what they are singing right now are just words that express the happiness and the euphoria that they are feeling it right now. It's repeating itself across the central area, in tent sites, in the streets, and here in the hospital. But what's really interesting now is the change, the dramatic change of scene here. Early in the morning, many of the funerals, message of the sadness, and now it's completely different. People are happy and excited and hoping for the best in the coming hours.
Hani, it is worth pointing out, of course, that as you rightly say, the ceasefire has not officially started yet, and one would imagine there is going to be concern, despite the celebrations, that there are so many people gathered in various places across Gaza that, of course, the attacks may be continuing. You mentioned there that there was an attack, we understand, from the Nusayrat refugee camp.
Yes, absolutely. And right now what we're seeing is more of a sudden reaction to 15 months of ongoing mass bombardment, to the point people did not believe they're going to survive it. They just remember the initial weeks of this genocide. Israeli officials, the political level, the military level, issued many of the statements and expressed sentiments that were very genocidal, that did not leave anyone in any positive hope that this is going to end or they are going to stay alive. Just the past months have proven what the Israeli military meant. Not only the ongoing bombardment and the daily killing by the hours, but also many of the restrictions that imposed on people. No fuel, no water, no medical supplies, no food supplies. Part of the Gaza Strip went hungry. Enforces starvation, enforces dehydration, famine that struck the northern part of the Strip. People started to look in areas where waste is being thrown, looking for food. Many of the hungry children, people died of hypothermia and the cold weather, not only from the unpredictable bombs, but all of this took place because nobody believed that this is going to come and end. Everyone would go by the end of the day being thankful that they made it through the day, went to sleep, not sure if they are going to wake up. And this happens to almost everyone here. Many of the time we showed up here at the tent, we did not know if we were going to make it back in the evening to our homes and come back in the morning because of the intensity of the situations.
Hani, thanks very much indeed. That's Hani Mahmoud talking to us there from Deir el-Balah. Okay, let's hear some more reactions from Gaza on the reports of a ceasefire deal.
By God, we are very happy that this crisis, sadness, bombing and death that happened to us is finally over, and that we will return to our hometowns and return to our families in Beit Hanun, Gaza and the north, and see our families who remained alive and see our lives, return to our old lives and be happy and live like we used to.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.